Welcome back to the Accessible Technology Podcast, which is a podcast all about everyday technology that is accessible for disabled people. My name is Phoebe Slough, and I am a wannabe technology journalist who has been paralysed from the neck down since 2001 when I was 3 years old, which means that I can't breathe without the help of a ventilator or tracheostomy tube, and I also can't move anything other than my head. But it is for that reason that I have created this podcast as a way for me to advise disabled people about what technologies that are out there are accessible for them to use, especially ones that are everyday tech. So please feel free to check out the links in the description and episode notes on where you can find the websites that all of this is based on, which I also upload reviews to as my own website, and where you can find out more, such as where you can find the YouTube channel. I will, of course, include more about what cover sites you can find me on at the end of this episode. You can listen to this podcast by searching for it on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, and Spotify. So please, if you would like to keep on hearing more like this, please consider giving it a follow wherever you're listening to it on any of those platforms. In today's episode, you're going to be hearing my review of the Xbox Adaptive Controller, which was first uploaded to my PL Tech Reviews YouTube channel on the 8th of August 2019. And of course, like all of the other ones, you can find a link to the video version if you would like to check this out. Those of you who have been a fan of the YouTube channel for a while now and who have seen the videos before listening to this podcast will recognise the main bit of audio in this podcast, because it is actually the video version changed to audio. However, I have included sound effects in this to make it a real immersive experience as far as a podcast goes, so I hope you enjoy it anyhow. But just before I get totally into the review, here are a few additional notes about the Xbox Adaptive Controller before we get into this. So the Xbox Adaptive Controller is the first controller that was designed by a major gaming company to help disabled people who have physical disabilities to get into gaming by being able to customize their own setups. It is compatible with all Xbox One consoles and PCs capable of running Windows 10 and upwards, but it is also compatible with the Xbox Series X and S consoles, and with whatever Microsoft brings out after that, as well as being compatible with the iPad, with your iPhone, and with other phones and tablets as well. Although it is worth keeping in mind that you won't get the co-pilot feature if you connect to any of these devices, as that only works on Xbox as far as I know. It was released in September 2018, with the first shipment being made in November of that year. and it is also available for £74.99 if any of you want to buy it. However, other compatible devices that you can use with this in Copilot mode are the Xbox wireless controllers that have Bluetooth compatibilities, and most USB joysticks and 3.5mm jack compatible devices will also work in it, whether they be a joystick or a switch or whatever. But now that I've gone through all of that, let's move right into the review. The Xbox Adaptive Controller was released in 2018 and was designed solely with physically disabled gamers in mind, and with charities such as able gamers and special effects also getting involved. Upon its release, Microsoft said it would give gamers easier access to the games they love, and it is automatically upgradable to any Xbox console. So what is the Xbox Adaptive Controller? A long and flat gaming device, the Xbox Adaptive Controller takes all the buttons and controls of a normal Xbox controller and changes them to being switches, USBs, and more. On the front, it has two large black switches which are programmed to act as A and B but can be changed to whatever button you like, and a home button, view button, menu button, D-pad and profile button. The profile button allows you to create 3 different setups for each category of game, but if you run out of space you can still play by plugging switches and joysticks or any other assistive device into the back. At the back you have 19 3.5mm jacks to act as every button and action on the controller, and the 20th one is on the left side to act as a headphone jack. Also on the left side you have a USB port for a left external joystick, with another one on the right hand side for a right one. So you can also use the built-in Copilot option, which is meant to be used with 2 players acting as one, but I just use it to play as one player. All of this can be easily changed to suit the needs of whoever is playing by changing switches and joysticks over. The box that the Xbox Adaptive Controller comes in has the Xbox logo on top, with a picture of the controller below and the product title in the bottom left corner. Some more information can be seen on this side in 3 different languages. And this is where Microsoft have really thought of accessibility, because the box comes with a handle to help the gamer to open it. Inside, the first thing you'll see is the adaptive controller itself, which is on a plastic handle so it can easily be pulled out. Some added information about starting it up is included beneath, but I think the box design was definitely really thought out. I can't appreciate all the angles of it too much because I am paralysed from the neck down and can't open boxes, but I was able to pull it out okay. So what are my thoughts on the Xbox Adaptive Controller overall? Before I got the Xbox Adaptive Controller, I wanted to play video games, but I could only play by mirroring my iPad off a TV, and otherwise I couldn't play any. I've only been using it since Christmas, but already I've been able to experience so much. And although some games are harder to play than others, I've been able to experience them somehow. The only bit of criticism I would give it, however, is that I find the D-pad a wee bit difficult to press, but I can see how it's easy for others, and I find the D-pad on the other Xbox wireless controller easy enough to press. The Xbox Adaptive Controller can be bought through Microsoft for around £75, but all the switches and joysticks you'll need are sold separately, although you can use handmade switches and joysticks if you know how to make them. Despite it not being perfect, I would give the Xbox Adaptive Controller 10 stars. But enough about my thoughts. What do you think about the Xbox Adaptive Controller? Are you a big fan of the product? Or do you think a new version of it should be launched? And what capabilities would you give to it if you could customize it any further? Well, I am still a big fan of the controller in and of itself. I do think that some things with it could be swapped around, like maybe switching the D-pad, the X power button and the profile button to the bottom of the controller in the middle under the two giant switches, which are automatically set to work as your A and B buttons, although you can change them. And I do plan on bringing a video on that idea out to the YouTube channel later, so we'll see what can be done. As always, if you would like to pass on your thoughts to me, you can include them in a review wherever you're listening to this on, as well as via the contact pages over on my Phoebes Tech Reviews website, which you can find by searching for pltechreviews.co.uk, or by going over to the contact page on my other website, phoebeloud.com, and all of those are linked in the description. If you're interested in watching the videos I do on accessible technology, you can find more of them over on my PL Tech Reviews YouTube channel. And if you would like to see a couple of my accessible tours and reviews, as well as my film, TV, theatre reviews and political videos, you can see them by searching for my Phoebes Journalism YouTube channel. However, if commenting on a website or a video isn't something you would be up to, you can also support the podcast by going over to the Phoebes Loud Buy Me a Coffee page, where you will have the option to give me a one-time donation or to check out other bits of exclusive content that won't be part of the actual podcast, as well as checking out various other things that I plan to upload in a store version at some point in the future. Or of course you can support me by going over to any of my socials, which are at Phoebes on Twitter or X, and the real Phoebes over on Instagram. They can also, however, follow my other podcast, the Fapes Loud podcast, by searching for it on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, and Spotify, where you get everything that I cover on Fapes Loud journalism and podcast form, with some tech news stuck in there as well. But anyway, that's all for now. So the next episode that comes out will be a summary and review of a range of switches you can get for the Xbox Adaptive Controller. And the one that will come out after that will be a review of a one-handed joystick you can get for it. But thanks for listening to this complete podcast episode the whole way through anyway, if you've got this far, and please follow it if you like what I'm doing. I plan to update this podcast twice a week until the 12th of August 2023, when I might have to change things around, but honestly, it could get more regular before then, so that I can fit in some more reactions to other tech stories that are happening throughout the year. So please just let me know what you would like to listen to as well. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Bye!